She's
I feel
perfect.
so
I wish I
behind.
was
That's
like
so
stuck.
so sweet.
Why can't I be
It's not
like that? Why am I
fair.
never good enough?
I can never
She's so
do that.
pretty. Welcome back to my channel. If you can't tell, I do not feel good today at all. This video was supposed to be a Christian girl talk and things did not go as planned. I was trying my best to get this video out to you guys today and it just was not working out. I'm still trying to at least try and airdrop the video to my iPad, but it's not working out. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best this week because it's Thursday. This video is coming out tomorrow. I want to be consistent and I want to continue to pour out into you guys. That's why I'm like, okay, let's just throw away the first initial plan and, you know, do something different. My nose. So I thought I would just take this opportunity to talk about comparison. So this week, I found myself comparing myself to so many different channels. The way that they edit and the way everything seems to go smoothly and how they had everything that I didn't. Once you compare yourself to somebody, then you're going to compare yourself to the next person and the next person and the next person. And it's going to be an endless cycle of comparison. So something I had to remind myself this week is that everybody's life looks differently and there's certain things that I've had to struggle with, also certain things that I have that others don't have. Everybody has a different life, a different journey, and they struggle with different things. A lot of times what we see on social media is just a small sliver of people's life. They seem like they have everything and they might have things that you don't have. In those times you have to remind yourself that your journey looks differently for a reason. There's something amazing that's going to come out of the things that you've learned and that you've experienced. I see videos of like these families that I think are perfect, but I don't really know what is going on behind the scenes. So to me, I might think they're the perfect family. There's a mom in the home, there's a dad in the home, and their kids seem really happy and they just have everything. But I do not see the ins and the outs of the relationships. I don't see the home life. I don't see anything. So what I may be romanticizing and really desiring may not even be what I think it is. We have to think about all these different factors that play, all these different things that can happen and are happening around us. Definitely easy to compare ourselves to the next person and think, wow, they have this skill set, they have this family, they have this relationship, friendship that I wish I had. And I often find myself doing that. I'll be scrolling on social media and I'll look on this profile and be like, man, like I wish I was a part of that. I wish that I had friendships like that. I wish I could do this. I wish. Just wishing and desiring something that I don't have is not going to do anything. Like, of course, I can have goals and I can have things that I desire, but if I'm just over here just watching other people's life and just continuing to compare myself, it's not going to help anyone. In those times, I can really give my desires to God and say, God, this is something that I really desire, and I believe that you put this desire here. So I pray that you will help me to have the clarity to know if this is for me or not, and help me to get to the place where you're calling for. Our experiences really shape who we are, and they allow us to relate to people around us. And that's something that I think of as well. If I hadn't struggled with certain things, then I wouldn't have this empathy and this care like I do. Like, of course, I would care about other people. It's just this certain way that you can relate and understand someone who is struggling with something that you've struggled with. There's a way that you can talk to them. There's a way that you just understand them so deeply. When I think about that, that makes everything worth it, because I think, you know what, all these things that I'm going through, one day I'm going to meet a younger version of myself, or I'm going to meet someone who's going through the same exact thing, and I'm going to be able to speak to them, speak directly to the root of the cause, because I struggled with that exact same thing. And so when I think about that, all of that comparison, all that insecurity starts to fade away, because I'm like, man, I'm going to be able to help people. I'm going to be able to love people in a way that they may have not been loved before. I'm going to be able to be a well-rounded teacher, a well-versed teacher who's going to be healing, even when I'm just teaching about English or math. I love that. So I believe that you might always have that little inch of insecurity in you, and sometimes seeing certain people doing things that you wish you were doing will ignite that, but you don't have to stay in that comparison feeling. You don't have to stay in that spiral of comparison, that spiral of insecurity. There's a way that you can stop it by your mindset. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking, I'm never going to get to that place? Are you thinking, you know what, my experiences shape me, and I'm going to use that for good. My trauma shaped me, and I'm going to use that for good. My blessings shaped me. The joys, the laughter, every single part of our lives shapes us, and we can use it for good. And we can use that as motivation. If we see someone who's living a better life, maybe they're doing something different than you're doing, and you know, like, that's a skill I really want to learn. You can say, you know what, instead of comparing myself to them, let me work on bettering myself. Let me work on trying to get to a place where I'm understanding this certain topic, or I know the skill set, and I do it in my own way. When we really start to change our mindset, we can go so far, and we can say, you know what, comparison, adios, because I don't need you. I can do this. I can use my insecurities for good. A lot of times, like, we don't realize this, but a lot of times the bad things that happen and the bad traits can be flipped around to be a good trait. If you are a perfectionist, you turn that around and say, you know what? I know that not everything's going to be perfect, but everything that I put out, I want to make sure that it is something that I will enjoy and that I will like. So if you're making YouTube videos as well, you're going to only put out content that you would actually watch. And that's how you can turn that perfectionism into a good thing. A lot of times things are good in moderation, but it's when perfectionism gets excessive. You're obsessing over the things that you have to do, and you're not getting things done because if they're not perfect, then you don't want to put them out there. And that can create procrastination because you're like, oh no, I want everything to be perfect. And so you just don't do it because you're scared. But like I said, if you flip that around and say, you know what, I just want to make sure that if I put something out in the world, I actually love it and I actually enjoy it. Some things is going to be a miss. Some things you might not be able to fully do, but as long as you can say, you know what, I love this. I see the flaws. I see that there's a few flaws, but other than those small little flaws, I can enjoy this and I love it for myself. Even with this YouTube video, this video is completely improv because I did not plan it at all. And I really wanted my Christian girl talk out. Having that perfectionist tendency was not helping me either because all week I was trying to get this one video done and I wasn't just deciding, you know what, let me just make a whole nother video because I really had my heart set on that Christian girl talk. But I know that there's so many other things that we can talk about, and I know that there's things and experiences that I have that I can share with you. And I know that there's so many things bubbling up inside of me that I just want to speak out. So it's just the perfect opportunity. When things happen that aren't planned, you can flip it around and say, you know what? I'm going to just let this thing go. Going to let that old YouTube video go. Maybe I'll be able to get it, maybe I won't. And do something different and fresh and new. Either way, I know that I can still help people and I can still love people through my channel. A lot of times those people that we view as perfect have their own issues, their own problems, their own things that they're struggling with. And they may not be completely transparent about it, and they don't have to. That's their business. If we start seeing people for who they are, which are human and people, we can start to see that we're all in this journey of life. We're all learning ourselves. We're all learning about the world and growing each day and improving each day. We're all on the same platform, all in the same space. And so when we start viewing people as equal, then we start to see, you know what, I don't need to compare myself to them. I can learn from them. The way that they're editing their videos is amazing. So you know what, I want to try something similar. I don't want to completely copy them, but let me see if I can do that. Let me try something similar to that. And so I just learned from that person that in the beginning, I was comparing myself to. When we start to look at things like that, it's like, it makes things so much easier and it makes celebrating other people's successes so much better because it's like, you know what? They are succeeding in life and I'm so happy that they are, and I can learn from them and I can be inspired and encouraged by them. So instead of being jealous or being insecure about what they're doing, let's say, you know what? I'm so glad you're doing that. And I'm so thankful that you've gotten to this place where you are using your skills, or you have this amazing family, this amazing marriage, whatever it is that you may want that you don't have. And you can say, you know what, I'm going to learn from that. Definitely a place where I'm at because I do have those ever so often moments where I'm like, oh, man, I wish I was in that place. I wish that I had this family model that I see this person have. I wish I had these friendships. God reminds me, you know what, I can learn from that, and He knows what He's doing. So in those seasons where we feel completely isolated, God knows what He's doing. Maybe it's time for you to depend on Him fully. So that's the end of this week's video. I know it was super short, but like I said, the first video didn't go as planned. So this is just improvising and just sharing some things that I've learned this week. And I just hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Bye. Love you guys.